Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to the very first episode of Simpson's Kitchen. I'm your host, Alan Simpson, and today we're going to be making one of the most requested dishes from my Snapchat. It's a pasta dish that I made when I was inspired after watching an episode of MasterChef Junior. And I tell you what, man, those kids are a lot better home chefs than I am, but I still think I put a little bit of flair on this dish. If you guys are ready to watch, I'm ready to teach.
Wonder what we're gonna make today. The kitchen is jumping, it'll make you say, let's eat. So grab a fork and you can head this way. It's Simpson's Kitchen.
The first thing we need to do is get our ingredients together. For this dish, I'm going to be using penne pasta, and for our protein, I'm going to be using pork. I have bacon as well as country sausage because I feel like the fat in bacon really brings out something in this dish that you can't quite get from any other protein. The sauce is cream-based, but since we don't have any heavy cream on hand, I'm going to use milk. It's not going to change much in the long run. For veggies, I have onion. I love cooking with onion, and you'll find that out pretty soon. I also have a yellow pepper. This dish can be made with red pepper as well. I have a clove of garlic that's locally sourced from a buddy of mine who works on a farm. And for spices, it's really up to your discretion. I'm going to be using black pepper powder, thyme, paprika, rosemary, oregano, and red pepper flakes. But anything that you like will work just fine. Alright guys, now that we have our ingredients together, it's time to get cooking. I'm going to set the stovetop for medium, and we're going to use a cast iron to brown our meat. This is what we're going to use for the sausage and the bacon. Now you want to make sure that you're on a medium to low heat, otherwise the bacon isn't going to cook the way we want it to, and it'll stick to the bottom of the pan. You don't want that. Make sure you guys wash your hands after handling raw meat. To speed things up a little bit, I'm going to get the sausage started in this pan. Same deal, you want to get a medium to low heat. Now, while our meat is cooking, we can get chopping on some of these onions. These are just going to be diced onions that are going to go directly into the pasta when we start simmering. So I want to get them out of the way now. We're also going to mince this garlic. There's a really easy way to get garlic out of the clove so that you're not just tugging at these layers like an onion the whole time. You just want to take the bottom of your knife and give it a good little crush on the cutting board. And that's going to get all of that shell off, and you're left with a clean clove of garlic. What we're going to do is season this sausage. The worst thing food can be is unseasoned. It's bland, it's boring, and it doesn't do anything. It fills your stomach, but eating should be an experience. You want it to taste good, you want to enjoy it. So let's go ahead and get a few herbs and spices in here. I'm start off with some rosemary, a little bit of paprika. The way I was taught to cook was to make the meat look cooked with the spices, even if it's still raw. That's when you know it's enough seasoning. time, it's going to take a little bit more time in the long run. God, so annoying. And then just a little bit extra coarse salt. Sausage is already salty enough, so you don't want to overdo it on that. Give that a good mixing. And we're going to turn that heat up just a little bit now. Alright, on to one of my favorite parts is the roasting of the pepper. Now we're going to do this right on the stovetop since we have a gas range. And you just want to put the pepper on there and give it a couple turns. Now the char on that pepper is going to give this pasta a flavor that is out of this world, especially if you're using a red pepper. Alright, we've got all the fixings together and everything's coming right as we need it to. The next step is the waiting game. We're going to add in our pasta, and I'll usually do a whole box of it. And then our milk. And we want the milk to be enough to submerge most everything. So it's going to take about a half gallon. That sizzle is going to stop. And we're going to mix everything together. And that is going to be it for this week's episode of Simpson's Kitchen, guys. If you like this episode, I really hope that you go hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because there's going to be so much more content just like this and some new stuff that I'm working on coming out later this year. Once again, I'm your host, Alan Simpson, and keep cooking.